Hi, Shalom. I want to give all praise to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai. And double honors to the apostles and elders that rule a great millstone that have been set up through faith to help seal the elect that the Lord brings in. We're at the end of days, man. Okay, we're at the time of redemption and salvation. So I'm gonna play this quick video, and then I'm gonna get into some scriptures, and Lord willing, you brothers are edified through this, man, because I found this video very interesting. It's got a lot of good facts. And I'm going to play this, and then we're going to get into the scriptures.
Ever since the first nuclear weapons test in the deserts of New Mexico and the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, nuclear weapons have become significantly more powerful. Since the first test in New Mexico by the United States in 1945, 2,475 nuclear weapons have been detonated across the globe. Over 85% of those detonations have come from only two countries, however, the United States and the former Soviet Union. Only two of those thousands of detonations were ever used in a war, the ones dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki during World War II by the United States. But those bombs were very small compared to modern weaponry. The Hiroshima bomb produced an explosion of 15 kilotons, or 15,000 tons worth of TNT. The bomb dropped on Nagasaki had an explosion of 21 kilotons. But how much bigger can nuclear weapons possibly get? The answer is, terrifyingly, much, much bigger. The largest nuclear weapon currently in the United States arsenal is the B-83, which can produce a blast of 1.2 megatons. To understand the scale from here out, 1 megaton is equal to 1 million tons of TNT, and that is equal to 1,000 kilotons. Remember that the Hiroshima blast was just 15 kilotons, so that means that the B-83 produces a blast 80 times more powerful than that. What I've been showing on this scale is only the size of the mushroom cloud that the bombs produced. So to further add to the scale, we're going to place the size of Mount Everest here and the average altitude of a commercial airliner that you would normally fly on here. So, the Castle Bravo bomb is the largest nuclear weapon ever tested by the United States. It produced a blast of 15 megatons, or about 1,000 times the scale of Hiroshima. But even that pales in comparison to the largest nuclear weapon ever detonated. In October 1961, the Soviet Union created the largest man-made explosion ever in human history when they detonated this device, known as the Tsar Bomba, here over this territory known as Novaya Zemlya. The bomb detonated with an astounding force of 50 megatons, or about 3,333 Hiroshima blasts. It was so powerful that it almost destroyed the plane that dropped it, shattered windows as far away as Norway and Finland, and the shockwaves created by the bomb circled around the entire Earth 3 times. But this test was actually just a scaled-down version of what was theoretically possible. Although never tested, the Soviets did have plans to create a bomb that would be twice as powerful as even the Tsar Bomba, a bomb so powerful that it would have produced a mind-boggling 100 megaton blast, or about 6,666 Hiroshima blasts altogether. To get another sense of scale, let's imagine that Times Square in New York City would be the epicenter of these blasts. You can test this stuff out yourself on the website NukeMap after watching this video. I'll provide a link for it after the end, but let's see the results first. First off, we're going to show the size of this detonation, which was caused by the recent North Korean test in 2013. Following this, here's the size of the Hiroshima detonation, which isn't really that much bigger, but let's move on to the B-83 bomb that we were talking about. As you can see, it would affect a much larger area than the Hiroshima bomb, but moving on past that to the Castle Bravo test, we can see how it truly dwarfs everything before it. But even that blast is incredibly tiny when we move on towards the Tsar Bomba as seen here. And then finally for our scale, we move on to how large the blast from the theoretical 100 megaton version of the Tsar Bomba would be. The blast would be so powerful. This is what the blast radius would look like if you were observing it from the International Space Station. So the question then becomes, should any of this really worry you? How many nuclear weapons?
So you got what reminds me, it says 10,000 shall fall to at that right hand. When the elect is delivered out of this destruction, we're going to be in chariots looking down, and we're going to see the bombs going off. We're going to see the different nuclear weapons hitting their designated areas, and we're going to be able to see what the Most High does to the wicked. Okay, so that's a spiritual thing right there, because we're going to be able to see it from a space point of view. Okay?
Weapons exist today anyway. Well, in total, there are estimated to be around 15,600 nuclear weapons in the world currently, enough to destroy the entire planet dozens of times over. But only 9 countries control that stockpile, and 92% of those weapons are controlled by only the United States and Russia. The other 8% of the global nuclear arsenal is controlled in descending order of numbers by France, China, the United Kingdom, Pakistan, India, Israel, and North Korea. Israel is, however, highly secretive about its nuclear program and has never publicly confirmed nor denied the existence of their nukes. It's just one of those things where everybody knows that they have them, but nobody really comes out and says so. Unless your name happens to be Mordecai Vanunu, a man who did reveal details about Israel's nuclear program and spent 18 years in prison, including over 11 years in solitary confinement. Also interesting to note, South Africa used to be in possession of 6 nuclear weapons because the past apartheid regime was afraid of the 79% of the population that couldn't vote and communists trying to overthrow their government, but they eventually agreed to dismantle all of them, which made South Africa the only country to ever acquire nuclear weapons and then voluntarily get rid of them. Well, unless you don't count Ukraine, Belarus, or Kazakhstan, which all had nuclear weapons for a brief amount of time after they declared their independence from the Soviet Union in 1991. Ukraine is particularly awkward because after their independence, they found themselves in possession of over 5,000 nuclear weapons, which would make Ukraine, for a brief period, the world's 3rd largest nuclear power and probably one of the most powerful countries on Earth as a result. They agreed to hand them all over to Russia in exchange for a super serious promise that nobody would violate their territory or borders in the future, and we all know how that turned out. As a result of that happening, it's doubtful that other countries would be thrilled to ever give up their nuclear weapons in the future, but leave your thoughts and comments below about how you...
Alright, so that shows, man, look. This thing is going to be something that we've not even imagined or seen before, okay? So that's why this is the main verse that I have for this video. This is the book of 2 Corinthians 5 and verse 11. It says, knowing therefore the terror of the Lord, we persuade men. But we are made manifest unto Yahweh, and I trust, it says, and I trust also, it says, and I trust also are made manifest in your conscience. Alright? So if you see right here when it's talking about the fear, the terror of the Lord, this is a part of that terror. Okay? This is a part of that terror. I'm gonna go to this map because I like this map, the way they set this map up. This is a part of that terror, man. This is a part of that because this is the second death. This is what we're coming up to. This is what the Yahweh Shem Yahushua is warning the world, or telling us to warn the world of this 3rd world war. And then you have the angels that are gonna come down here, and they're going to, how you say, they're gonna wreak havoc, man. Just like they did under Sodom and Gomorrah, they're going to do right here. Okay? And it's going to be lots. There's going to be death, man. Okay? Death is coming. We're coming to that second death. So let me read this for you, Akim, and we're going to get into some of these words. Let me read it again. It says, knowing therefore the terror of the Lord, we persuade men. But we are made manifest unto Yahweh, and I trust also are made manifest in your conscience. So let's get some of these words out of here. It says the first word, knowing. That word knowing is, let me play this.
Strong's G 1492.
Ido. And it says to see, to perceive with the eyes, to perceive by any of the senses, to perceive, notice, discern, discover, to see, i.e. to turn the eyes, the mind, the attention to anything, to pay attention, observe. And that's what we're out here, that the Most High has woken our minds up so we can observe the prophecies, and and through the elders, through the men that have been set up to teach us this truth. They're the ones that broke this down to us and let us know, look, the weapons of the Most High's indignation are these nuclear weapons. That's why it says, I created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire. And it says, pay attention, observe, to see about something. It says to ascertain what must be done about it. And then what is that? To be get right. Come back to your understanding and follows the laws and statutes to the best of thy ability. And then let's look right here. The word terror. That word terror there is, let's let this load. Phobos.
Strong's G 5401. Phobos. Phobos.
And it says fear, dread, terror, that which strikes terror, reverence for one's husband. That's in something else. But it says fear, dread, terror. This should scare Jake, man. Things like this, man, and seeing what's on the horizon, that should spook Jake. That's just because that's going to spook Jake into getting right. That's why it says warn the wicked from their wicked ways. But it says if the wicked don't change from their wicked ways, they're going to die in their wickedness, man. Because there's going to be mass death, and you have to be a part of that elect and be chosen to be delivered out of it. Especially if you're in the landmass of Babylon the Great. Let's go to the next. Let's pull out a couple of these other words, and I'm going to get some precepts. Let's see the word persuade.
Strong's G 3982. Pytho. Pytho.
Pytho. And it says to persuade, i.e. to introduce one by, it says to induce one by words to believe. And that's what that's what we're out here to tell you, starting with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. They're the ones that's telling you by words of what? What words? Of the prophecies. To make friends of, to win one's favor, gain one's goodwill, or to seek to win one, strive to please one. Tranquillus. And I looked up the word tranquillus right here. Let's see. And the word tranquillus, verb tranquillus, it says to make calm or still, quiet the dragons of worry and fear. Calm, still, tranquilize, calm down, quiet, quieten, lull. So we're telling you, because it says rest with us. This is our rest to know, look, if we stay in the course and we're part of that elect, we're going to be delivered, man. You know, because we're going to, our minds are going to be calm. That's why it says knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of thy time. Okay. And it says to persuade unto, i.e. move or introduce one to persuasion to do something. And that's come back to who you are. Okay. Let me just read, let me get this in Isaiah. This is the book of Isaiah 33 and verse 14. And it says, the sinners in Zion are afraid. Fearful has surprised the hypocrites. Who among us shall dwell with the devouring fire? Who among us shall dwell with the everlasting burnings? Okay, and we know that's Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, man. Okay, but you got to think these weapons are coming down, and they're gonna do work, man. Okay, they're gonna do work, and they're gonna shake things up. Let me get this real quick. This is the book of Psalm 76 and verse 7. And it says, thou, even thou, art to be feared, and who may stand in the sight when once thou art angry. Read that again. Thou, even thou, art to be feared, and who may stand in thy sight when once thou art angry. All right. So hey, this is coming to pass soon. Okay. So you Akim out there, and you brothers, you hopeful elect, keep faith. Shalom. All praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua. Shalom.